Perfect. Hi, everybody. Thank you for hopping on. I know that we do have some more people who are messaging me and saying that they're about to hop on and having issues with links. If you are here, please go ahead and mute yourself if you haven't already. This is Natasha from Stunner Squad. I'm so excited for tonight's team call. We do have a guest speaker from Teamzy's corporate. And she has so much information. I cannot wait for her to share it with all of us. But before we get started, I just want to give a huge shout out to Kristen on our team for hitting Ruby today. This is so exciting. We've had quite a few rank advancements announced from Emerald and Ruby. I know that Diamond is right in the shadows for a couple of you, and you've all been working so hard. I'm getting lots of messages. And I think that Teamzy is a great tool that can help a lot of you. I know that Kristen has been preaching Teamzy for the last few months, and once she started using it is when her business took off. So listen up. This is our second Teamzy call. We did have a coach kind of give us their side of everything a couple weeks ago, and now we're going to hear like the technical side and see all the tricks and tips from someone straight from corporate, so that we can kind of get both sides and get the best bang for our buck and move our businesses forward. Okay, so I'm going to pass everything over right now and we can get started.
Awesome. Thank you so much for allowing me to crash your team call. Like I said a minute ago, I know these are really, really instrumental times for you to come together as a team and just sort of lean in and get all that great juice. So I'm really excited to have been here, even if it was just for that one announcement. Way to go. Okay. You're awesome. Fantastic. So my name is Jay Lopes, and I'm the Director of Customer Experience here at Teamzy. So if nothing else, I want you to know that I am a resource for you here at the company. So if you feel you're not tech savvy, or you're thinking, you know, Jay, that doesn't look the way that you said it would, or any of the above, you can always reach out to me directly, and I will be here to help you along the way. So stick with me. After my initial presentation, I'm going to share my contact information with you. So keep an eye out for that. That's coming soon. So here's what I actually have planned for the night. So we're going to start with setup, because I know that can sometimes be the uncomfortable place when you're transitioning to a new tool. So I'm going to cover all of the setup steps, and then I'm going to give you some tips for kind of making that as painless as possible. Okay, so once we cover setup, we're going to go over into your power hour sessions. So I'm going to kind of highlight the different features in the system that you should be maximizing on to get the most out of your time when you do have maybe an hour, 2 hours to really dedicate to your business. So we're going to talk those power hour sessions. Then I'm going to finish up with following up like a pro with Teamzy. Because the worst feeling is that you've got to manage an external calendar and then an Excel spreadsheet and Post-it notes and the whole 9 yards, right? I want to show you how all of it lives in one system nicely. So you're only having to check one place so that you can get down to the actual work that is this business. So we're going to start with setup, we're going to move over into power hours, and then we're going to talk following up like a pro. Once we've covered all of that, I am going to open up the floor to questions you might have. I know many of you have jumped in, maybe you've got specific scenarios or maybe even challenges you want to run by me, so stick around, because I'm excited to hear from you and kind of answer for you in real time, kind of demo for you right on screen so you know what to expect. All right, so after that Q&A, I will share my contact information with you so that you'll always have a direct line no matter what, even if you feel like, oh, I don't remember a word that she said after tonight. No worries, okay? So let's get rolling. I'm gonna jump in and actually share my screen with you now. Let me make sure I'm recording a version. Okay, so I'm also recording a copy, so if for any reason you're having, you know, a weird glitch on your end and you need another copy, you can reach out to me. So I also muted everyone's lines just to limit any background noise. If you feel the spirit move you and you want to jump in and ask a question or, you know, just contribute something to the conversation, please do so. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the right screen was sharing. Okay, good. So you should now be looking at my Teamzy dashboard. Before I actually jump into the logistics, each of you should know that you have access to a free 30-day trial of Teamzy. Okay. Now I know trials. All right. It's, you know, you hit start on it and then before you know it, it's over. So if you feel like you weren't able to dive in, or maybe it was, you know, back when we first launched Teamzy, or any scenario, keep my email address at the end of this call and then shoot me an email. Let me know, hey Jay, I'd really love a chance to utilize the trial. We want you to love Teamzy, and then to know that the investment is a no-brainer, okay? So if you have not utilized your free 30-day trial, make that your next step. Hang with me though, I promise I've got tons of value for you tonight, okay? So next step, free 30-day trial. Now, once you've got your free 30-day trial, you may have jumped in, you might have clicked around a little bit. I'm gonna take you through right from the setup period. So to get to what's known as our setup wizard in Teamzy, you're gonna go to the wheel in the upper right-hand corner of your system. So once you click there, you're gonna have setup wizard in that menu. This is gonna redirect us to our 3-step setup process. So again, we're gonna keep this as painless as possible, but there are major or vital pieces of information that the system needs to work well. So for one, we're gonna begin by setting an income goal in Teamzy. So I know many of you may have either heard of other systems, used other systems, created your own system, but the fact is, what differentiates Teamzy from so many other systems out there is that we are a lead generation system. Okay, I'm gonna say that one for you again. We're a lead generation system. Now, lead generation has become more of a buzzword, but honestly, it is simply a system that initiates inquiry or interest into the products and services that you offer. I'm gonna say that for you one more time. A lead generation system is a system that initiates inquiry or interest into the products and services that you offer. So I wonder, as a Beachbody coach, are you in the lead generation business? Yeah, definitely, for sure. So you need a tool like this that's going to work right alongside you as you're doing all of those great activities to generate leads. Because if you're not constantly introducing new people, you can't grow your team or your business. So our first step in Teamzy is going to be to create an income goal, because we are actually going to tell you the highly productive activities you need to complete every day, every week, every month, every year in order to stay on track with your goals. So the first feature that indicates for you, okay, this tool is going to help me generate leads or work toward a strategic goal. So we're gonna set an income goal in Teamzy on a 12-month basis, okay? Now I like to say this at this point because I know for a fact, without having met any of you, that you are a bunch of powerhouses, okay? So some of you might be thinking, I'm already having a killer year, Jay. I am killing my 2017 goals. You're awesome, okay? Fantastic. We are giving you the opportunity to go for your stretch goal, okay? Challenge yourself, get a little ambitious. But if nothing else, you are gonna set your eyes on the prize. For some others, it might be that, it's a few months into 2017 now. You might have to light that fire, kick yourself in the bum a little. Teamzy is gonna help you keep your eyes on that. So, step 1, we're gonna create our income goal. Step 2, we are going to create a powerful why statement. I am talking to the right group here. Beachbody coaches understand how vital a tool like a powerful why is. You need to know why you got in this business to begin with, because there will be challenges, okay? There will be quitting points, as we call them in the coaching world. You have to have tools that you can reach for that help you build your resilience, that help you persevere through those challenging moments. And we knew that to be so important that we built it right into your system. So step 2, you're gonna create your powerful why statement. If you're thinking, what is she talking about? Never even heard of it before. Not to worry, we have an exercise that's kind of gonna pull it out of you, okay? So I'll show you in the next step. Step 3, we're gonna import our contacts into Teamzy. I know, this can be that scary part, right? Everybody's thinking, I need to transition all of my data, Jay. Everything needs to be exactly where I say it is. And oh wait, I've got a custom spreadsheet that has 101 columns and color coding and it's voice activated, right? Yeah, it's fantastic. I want you to capture all of that amazing data that you have been spending all of this time accumulating and bring that into Teamzy. The system is ready to help you consolidate your many lists into one, okay? So it's okay if you've got a list in Facebook, then one in your back office, and then a beautiful custom spreadsheet, and then maybe, you've got your hot leads list or what have you. You can go ahead and bring each of those lists into Teamzy, and in the next few steps, I'll show you how to do that. So come along with me. All right, first step in the setup process, we are setting our income goal. So like I mentioned a moment ago, it's going to be on a 12-month basis, okay? So if you set goals right now quarterly or monthly, just consider your goal here is going to be on a 12-month basis. Now, with that being said, this is not, okay, I repeat, this is not simply a pretty placeholder, okay? This is not something you're just going to glance over at and it's going to give you the warm fuzzies. Nope. Teamzy is going to use this number to calculate the number of highly productive activities you need to complete every day, every week, every month, in order to stay on track with your annual goals. So, in this moment, take a hard look, okay? If you're doing strategic planning, consider where you were last year. This is going to be the number that drives your activities toward your goals. So, 12-month basis. So we'll hit continue here, and the system is going to take its first swing at crunching my numbers, okay? So what it's letting me know is that, okay, you wanna make $100,000? That breaks down to 2,899 connections in a year. Okay, that might sound like a lot. For some of us with more ambitious goals, that initial number might seem like a lot. But if you were to stop and consider how many people you're already connecting with, okay, without even really trying, on a daily basis, okay, got that number? Now figure it on a weekly basis. Okay, now monthly. If you were to add up the number of connections you are already making on an annual basis, it would be staggering to you, okay? This is simply an intentional approach. We are going to remove that weird guilty factor that you feel where, did I really do enough for my business today? Or can I go out back and play with my kids since I spent 3 hours scrubbing down lists and calling 10 people? You know, we're gonna remove some of that guilt from this. So take the initial number and come along because Teamzy is gonna break that down for you into bite-sized chunks. All right. So the difference between an achievable goal and a not so achievable goal is having achievable milestones, okay? Knowing that you're headed in the right direction. So if I want to make $100,000, Teamzy let me know I need to connect 2,899 times over the next year. But really, that only breaks down to about 6 connections to my prospects, 4 to my customers, and 3 to my coaches. Oh, I can do that in my sleep. No worries. No problem. I got it from here. So come along with us. Trust the system, okay? Now, something I want to say here. A moment ago, I mentioned that you're all a bunch of powerhouses who are probably already just killing it as far as connections and reach outs. So if you look at your recommended goals and you're thinking, well, Jay, I do that for breakfast, okay? You're fantastic. Keep up the good work. Challenge yourself. Get in here and go for 10 or go for 20 or go for 15. What's awesome here is you got the opportunity to sort of customize your goals per your dynamic, okay? Because I know there's the other end of this where we might have some brand new Beachbody coaches. Welcome, awesome, okay? But you might be thinking to yourself, Jay, I just don't have customers or coaches yet. That is okay, it is a temporary status, okay? So what you want to do is redistribute the goal recommendation from prospects and coaches over to your prospect section. The more focus you put on your prospects, the more you'll convert into customer and coaches. It's the only way that it works, okay? So if the system had recommended to me 6 prospect, 4 customer, 3 coaches, I'll take the 7 from my customers and my coaches, and I'm going to add that to my prospect column. So now I'm staying on track with the connection goal, okay, that was based on my income goal, but I'm doing it based on my current capability, based on doing the best with what I've got, okay? So redistribute your goals if you need to or get ambitious. Same idea, you have the option to customize there. Now let's say I have accepted the recommended goals from the system. Okay. So in addition to connection goals, for your prospects, for your customers, and your coaches, you will also get a goal for daily invites and daily ads. I'm going to talk to you about each of these. Okay, so daily invites. Invites are going to be intentional calls to action, okay? So anytime you're working with a prospect, customer, or a coach, and you invited them to an event, to a challenge group, to join you for, for whatever event that you've got going on, to try a product, try the shakes. Anything that calls them to action on their end is going to constitute an invite. We set a separate goal for that because those those activities are going to get you a little bit closer to your overall goal because people are taking action on the other end of it. So you've got your invites, and then you've also got additions, daily additions, simply daily additions to your database. So remember, Teamzy is built as a lead generation system. So now it's got you focused on, have you met anyone new today? Did you accept any new friend requests? Did you meet anyone new face-to-face and belly-to-belly? I know it really happens these days, for sure. Someone's doing it somewhere, I bet. So if that's the case, Teamzy's got you with your eyes on the prize. I need to constantly be generating new leads. I need to consistently be connecting with everyone in my database. Not just the low-hanging fruit, right? Not just the people that like and love everything that you post on social, that'd be nice, but it's gotta be everybody. So that is what your goal snapshot is here. You've got the opportunity to take the step back. Okay, Teamzy has recommended goals based on my overall income, but Teamzy doesn't know that I don't have customers and coaches yet, so I can make an adjustment. Or, you know what, Teamzy? Fine, I can do that. Plus some, okay? You have the ability to customize your goals. This can be ongoing. If you're thinking, okay, I wanna accept what the system recommended today, but maybe 3 months in, you are absolutely killing it. And you're thinking, okay, I can get in here and I can challenge myself a little more. You always have the option to revisit your goals. So let's say we're accepting the recommended. The system is going to move us through to the next step in the setup process, which is finding that powerful why statement. Our creator and founder, Eric Johnson, was really awesome enough to cover for you his actual why process. And a lot of it was instrumental in how we decided to build Teamzy. So if you'd like some motivation, if you're thinking, you know, I'm just not that creative, give that a listen. I'm telling you, it'll shake some things loose for you. Okay. When you're ready to actually create the powerful why statement, you are going to take it one question at a time. If you have your own powerful why, I really recommend that you still give it into the exercise. It's surprising how much these questions can really work on you internally. For me, I'm slightly more pragmatic, right? Those of us that are inclined to tech often are. So the touchy-feely, you know, the emotional, motivational stuff can sometimes fall on deaf ears with me. The guys pitched this idea to me and I was a little skeptical. They told me to just give in to the exercise. So that's what I did. Why did I become a coach? Well, for me in the beginning, it was my coach told me I could make an extra $500 a month. It wasn't overly deep for me. So I'm hearing these other people where it's like transcendent with their children and I'm like, oh, geez, it's just not there for me yet, you know? Everyone is at a different place in their lives. Everyone is at a different place in their business. So take an honest look at these questions. Doesn't matter if it feels like they're a little in the beginning. It starts to take shape, okay? So I became a coach because I was hoping to make a little more income month to month. What did I hope to accomplish? A savings account seemed like a good place to start. Why was that important to me? Well, I married a Marine straight out of college. We were looking at a military life, military income. I thought to myself, financial freedom, a community of my own. Before I knew it, my why started to take shape. Before I knew it, it had depth to it. Me, who'd have thunk it? So if you're struggling with your powerful why, simply give into the exercise. Answer it a question at a time. Okay, so what you'll notice is that the very last field on this, in this exercise is the my why paragraph. Pardon me. So what we want you to do in Teamzy is actually take the answers, okay, that are in the fields above that you just typed and copy and paste them into that final paragraph. So that will create your overall why. It's not gonna automatically populate. So if you're thinking to yourself, Jay, I answered all the questions, but it's not on my dashboard. That's what's going on. You wanna head back to your powerful why area and then just save everything in that final section. Okay, so once we're all set with our why, we're moving on to the next step in setup, which is going to be loading our contacts. All right, we're taking a deep breath. Everybody all together, okay? I'm gonna keep this as painless as possible, I promise. So there are a couple things to keep in mind. I mentioned that I was fully aware, okay, that Teamzy, that you've got lists all over the place. You've got one in Facebook, one in LinkedIn, one in your back office. Not to worry, Teamzy is ready for that. But we do have a recommendation for the order in which you should import those files, okay? So if you've got a pen and paper, go ahead and grab that now. You can jot these down. I'm just gonna grab a quick sip of water. Okay, so the order in which you should import your contacts into Teamzy. We are going to start with your customers and coaches from your Beachbody back office. You want to start with your customers and coaches from your Beachbody back office. Once we've got those loaded, I want you to move over to any of those beautiful custom spreadsheets that you may have created, okay? Yes, the ones with, you know, every single note you've ever sent them, every product you ever pitched, the whole 9 yards. Go ahead and bring that into Teamzy. Once you've got your custom spreadsheets loaded, I want you to go ahead and focus on your email services, okay? So if we started with our customers and coaches, then we went over to our custom spreadsheets. Then I want you to focus on your email services. So are you a Gmail user, Outlook, 365, Spark? All of these different email services actually compile an address book for you over time. So you can choose to leverage that or not. It's completely your choice. In any case, that's the order you should bring it in. After we bring in your email services, I want you to focus on LinkedIn connections, okay? So LinkedIn connections. The reason I specifically mention LinkedIn is that LinkedIn, while it is a social media-ish platform, okay, is a really, really great source for data. As a user, whenever you make a connection with someone, you make a real connection, okay? So you own that data. So what that means for you is that you can actually hit export, and it's gonna give you information like an email address, where they currently work, their position, a phone number if they've provided it. While other social media platforms like Insta, Facebook, Twitter cannot do that for you, okay? So if you have LinkedIn connections, leverage them. It's a really awesome source. Okay, so we started with our customers and coaches from our Beachbody back office. Then we moved on to our custom spreadsheets. After custom spreadsheets, we're bringing in our email services. Once you've got your email services loaded, go ahead and focus on LinkedIn connections. Once you've got all of those other contacts imported, then you can feel free to bring in your Facebook or any other social media. I'm gonna go over that list one last time. Sorry guys, I'm coming to you live from the high desert of California where it's still a little hot and a little dry. So, okay, so we're starting with our customers and our coaches from our Beachbody back office. Then we are going any custom spreadsheets. From there, you're gonna bring in your email services, Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, AIM. I know people still have AOL emails. My husband does. It's insanity. So once you bring in those email services, then you're gonna go ahead and focus on your LinkedIn connections. Once you bring in all those guys, you can feel free to bring in your Facebook or any other social media. Okay, now that I've got that covered, within that same thought, any other social media. Everybody wants to know, how do I export my Instagram followers and my Twitter? Unfortunately, Instagram and Twitter, okay, right along with Facebook, have some of the highest security and privacy policies that exist on the planet. So with that in mind, they cannot release any information to you. So Instagram and Twitter will not allow you to export anything. Facebook will let you pull a name of first and last names only. Okay, so that's unfortunately a bummer, but what's great is that once you bring all of those contacts into one place, you start to consistently connect. No one falls through the cracks. I don't have to, wake up in a cold sweat at midnight thinking, oh, I forgot to check Instagram. The moments happen. It's insane. So you want to create an environment where that doesn't happen. So with Instagram and Twitter, it's a great job for an idle teenager if you have them in your life. You can sort of sit them down and have them create a list of your followers using, username or what have you. Food for thought. All right, so we talked about the order that you should import your contacts into Teamzy. I have a few tips for exporting from some of these locations, okay? Because in the tech world, in the software world, things change minute to minute. So With your Beachbody back office, okay, you're going to know that you're going to pull, so this video here in setup where it says import from coach to online office, this will walk you through the steps, okay? I'm not going to go through it in depth, but what I will mention is you're going to export your customers and then you're going to export your list of coaches. When you go to bring those into Teamzy, we have already coded our system to be ready to accept that information. So that's going to be the easiest file that you import, okay? Now, from there, your Facebook. Let's say that you brought in all of the other information in the order that Jay told you to. Facebook. So Facebook is going through some growing pains. Even the big guys do, okay? So what's going on is that some of us are affected, some are not. If you are thinking to yourself, Jay, I followed all of the instructions, I requested my archive, and I never received the email. You are included. Okay, so what Facebook has done is that they are changing the process little by little. It's not affecting the entire database at Facebook. So if you requested your information from Facebook any more than 1 hour ago, if you requested your Facebook data any more than 1 hour ago, I want you to go through these steps with me, okay? I'm actually going to show you really quickly. Okay, so in your Facebook, if you had gone through this process already, okay, you're just going through it again, basically. If you requested your information any more than an hour ago, I want you to go back to your Facebook settings. So in the upper right-hand corner of your Facebook, you'll have a little upside-down carrot icon. You're going to click there and come down to settings. When you're on your general account settings page, the very bottom is going to be download a copy of my Facebook data. You're going to select that again because you've already gone through this process. This time, instead of it saying start my archive, like you can see here in green, it will actually say download my archive. What went on here is that Facebook skipped a step. They didn't send you the follow-up email that they promised. They just dropped your file right in your Facebook, okay? So if you've been waiting any more than 1 hour's time, then go back to your Facebook settings and you should see your file waiting. Any other questions? Stay tuned, I'll share my contact information. All right, so those are my tips when you're importing into the system, okay? There are some videos in our setup wizard that take you through the process step by step for your back office, for Facebook, and then ultimately how to import any file into Teamzy. So that's gonna be this last file, that last video on the page. So what you wanna consider, anytime you're importing a file into Teamzy is this a Beachbody file? Is this a Facebook file? Or is this a CSV file, comma, separated value? Okay, so it's what you see here on my screen. This video will walk you through that process. If you are thinking to yourself, Jay, I would have no idea how to check a format to begin with, don't worry about it, okay? I don't want you to agonize over this. What you can do is actually right on this page, Teamzy gives you the outline of what files it accepts. If you're thinking to yourself, oh, okay, I don't know how to check a format, Jay, just choose the file. Teamzy will tell you yay or nay, okay? So let's go ahead and select our file. I'll show you how quick that is in real time. Teamzy's gonna run that screen that I just mentioned to you, and it lets me know, okay, this file is acceptable for import. What you're looking for is this green check mark, okay? That's the success message. Now, once you've successfully uploaded, you can do a few things before you continue. You can toggle or click on advanced import options, pardon me, and it's going to allow you to tag everyone on one file. So when we're kind of at that stage where you might be consolidating multiple lists, right? You might have batches of people that maybe attended an event, or maybe you've got a list of people that you're following up for a certain product or a certain workout or something along those lines. You can actually create a tag so that at one glance you'll know the nature of that relationship, or you'll have an identifier for that group of contacts. So in this case, let's say this was a full group of my Facebook friends. I could actually type the word Facebook correctly, and then that would be now my Facebook tag. I could say event Los Angeles. I could create as many or as few tags as I would like. What's awesome about adding your tags at the import page is that it's going to apply that one tag, or those 3 tags or 4 tags, to all 100, 20, 2,000 names that you might have on that list all at once. So consider that you have the option to kind of apply a blanket tag at the import stage. Let's say this is a list of my Facebook friends. I'll hit continue. And now the system is going to let me know that it has automatically mapped my file. That just means that it put the phone numbers with the phone numbers, email addresses with email addresses, and so on. And now once we've, once you've gone on beyond the automatic mapping stage, you're going to be on to the actual ranking and prioritization process. Because yes, you did the 3 major steps of setup. You set that income goal, we created our powerful why, and we imported our contacts. But now that we brought all of those contacts into the system, it's time for Teamzy to start taking that strategic approach to your business. And to do that, it needs to know your priority or your relationship that you've got with each and every person in your database. So your next step is going to be to take a hard look at every prospect, every customer, and every consultant, and you're going to say, okay, these are my 5 stars, or someone most likely to become a customer or coach, or an existing customer or coach that is a rock star, someone I want to follow up with every 30 days like clockwork. So that's the real name of the game here, okay, is that every priority rank corresponds to a default follow-up. Every priority rank corresponds to a default follow-up. So in that, 5 stars are going to come up every 30 days like clockwork. Your 4 stars are going to appear every 60 days. Your 3 stars every 90 days. Your 2 stars every 120 days, and then your 1 stars will never show up for automatic follow-up. So in that thought, what I want to say here is that your 1 stars you can reserve for maybe people that are too far down your downline or members of your upline that you want to save their information on file, but you don't want them muddying the waters of your daily follow-up reminders. You'd like to just be able to, pull up their information if you need it. But on the day-to-day, it's okay if they're kind of in a holding tank, okay? So that's what you can use your 1 stars for, because they will never show up for automatic follow-up. So let's take a look at what that looks like in real time. Again, each video on these pages is just gonna basically show you what I'm talking about live. So when you hit rank, Teamzy is gonna redirect you to the easiest page to do the ranking process. It brings you to the team page, and it puts you in the all category. So what that means is this is every single contact that was manually added or imported into the system. Now, what you're looking at here is the rank mode. Above the list of names, you'll notice there are 2 different modes. There's rank mode and then there's type mode, because these are 2 different ways of identifying your database. So you'll say, Marlo, okay, so Marlo is a 4-star. Rachel is a 2-star. Laura's Laura's probably a 3-star, Rena's a 5-star, and you're just gonna go down the list, okay? Some are gonna jump out at you, some are gonna be easier than others. We understand that, and especially when you're consolidating sometimes larger lists, my best tip here is to not agonize. Do not get overwhelmed in this moment. Simply cherry pick your 4 and your 5-star ranking, okay? So go through this list. What you would have noticed is that everyone defaulted to 3 stars. So Teamzy kind of applied a safety net to every single person that you brought into the system, just so that nobody falls through the cracks, even if it takes you a little bit of time to get through and define where everybody stands for you, okay? So go through in the beginning and cherry pick your 4 and your 5 stars. This is going to change. These will evolve almost naturally with your relationship. As they become a better prospect, a better customer, a better coach, that your relationship will deepen. Your relationship will have cause for greater frequency follow-ups. So in that case, you're gonna go through and rank everybody in the database, okay? You'll notice it's as easy as clicking the new rank. The system does an automatic save for me as I move down the list. So you don't necessarily have to stop or search for a save button, just make the changes that you can and move on. As you're going through this list, you may come across a name that you're thinking, I don't need to have them in my database at all. I don't want to have them in the holding tank. I don't need to have them at any point. So you can just delete them. This comes up a lot when people are bringing in lists from their cell phones, lists from their email services, only because those have personal contacts and things like that, like the pizza dude and that kind of thing. So you might want to get in there and delete some names, people that you don't need to have on in your database for work. So if you come to a name that you'd like to delete outright, you'll just click the mini trash can to the right of the person's name. That's going to delete the name outright and just bring the next name up the list. Okay, so that's going to be how quickly and easily you can do your ranking and sort of cleaning up as you move through. I mentioned to you that there was also a type mode. So if you actually enable type mode here, it's going to display for you everyone's active type. So are they a prospect? Are they a customer? Or are they a coach? Okay, so you'll go through and you can say, oh, you know what, actually, these are customers. This person's a coach. You will need to do this for your Facebook friends, for LinkedIn, for basically any list that didn't come from your Beachbody back office, because we don't know where they currently stand with you. Okay, so you'll go through that simple. It's doing an automatic save as you make changes on this list and move forward. Let's say I'm working with Marlo and I have a piece of information that I need to add to his profile. As you're consolidating lists, you might have an email address on your master list, and then you might have a phone number, in your back office. You might have to do some manual additions, some manual cleanup. Marlo sent me an email today, so now I can add his email address. All I have to do is click on Marlo's name. This now becomes his active profile here to the right. What I can do is I can scroll down, and you'll notice that it gives me his details. First and last name, contact information, social media links, personal details. So I can just click right in the field I want to change and just start typing. When I click anywhere else on the screen, it gives me a success message, meaning it has successfully saved that information and I can simply move on to the next step. Okay, so I would be able to continue to add information. Social media links. This is something that I always get a question about. Why is that beneficial? Why would that be useful for me? I like this because my power hour, it really hums. I get into a real system and it's like I'm not looking up or breaking my process. So if I have a quick link where I can click on it, it brings up your page, I can drop you a message and I can get back to what I'm doing, those are valuable seconds for me, okay? If you're someone that, it's not relevant to you, it's not a huge issue, you can use the feature, but you don't have to. Here's how I would do it. Let's say Eric and I are Facebook friends. So I would go over to my Facebook. I will find Eric. Now that I've got Eric's profile open, his link is basically just the URL. So what you see where it's facebook.com/ the person's name, that is their Facebook link. So I'll do a quick copy here, go back over to my Teamzy. I'll drop that in his Facebook section. And now that information has been successfully saved. So now in the future, I can click on that link and it'll automatically bring up Eric's profile. So that's gonna be how quickly and easily you can just kind of add information as you're moving through. If you have a piece of information that doesn't fit in these fields perfectly, because you're gonna be taking notes about people, how their progress is going, what their goals are, things like that, we have a really great notes tab here. So you'll notice in every profile, okay, this is Eric's profile here. If I come down far enough, I see his details, but then I can actually click on notes to the right of the details section. And from there, I can actually add a note. I can say, buying new house, or I don't know, gluten deal, okay? You make the notes, it's a note to you, from you, so this is something where it's just kind of a little bit of a reference for you next time when you pick up where you left off. Okay. So the one caveat here that I want to mention is that everywhere else in the system is automatically saving your progress. Your notes section, however, it wants you to tell it when you're done updating, okay? So just scroll down and hit update. Alrighty, so the activity feed in each profile is basically going to be a running track or an itemized list of every single activity that you have tracked for that individual. So at any point, you'll be able to glance over and say, oh, okay, that's what we worked on, or that's the email that he's talking about. Okay, it happens to all of us. So that's gonna be your activity feed right in the relationship profile. A couple things that I wanna cover before we move on to power hours. You all watched me create a tag earlier when we were importing, okay? So we actually went through the process and we added a tag to all 23 names that I brought into the system. But let's say that now I wanna add an individual tag. For example, Eric Johnson's really interested in 21-day fix. I can actually click right in the tagline and I can type in whatever I want to create for a tag. I can add as many or as few as I'd like. And what's awesome is that these end up being filtered lists, okay? So you can go through and I can say, you know what, I want to see only the people that I've tagged as 21-day fix. The system now runs that screen and it brings up only those people. I can do a quick campaign list. I can send off some emails, do follow-ups from events. These are really, really awesome for just creating like your starting point. If you're getting ready to do like a killer power hour or something, you know, create a tagged list and then you know exactly who you're connecting with. So those are some different features that you can focus on as you're going through setup, okay? We'll get back here and I'll kind of jump into some other features. And then like I said, if you do have specific questions, jot those down and we'll get back into it. All right, now let's talk about power hours. Now that you have taken the time to go through and rank and prioritize everyone, we know who's truly important, who you want to spend more of your time, energy, and resources on. So you've told Teamzy the important stuff. Now you start leaning into it for its power hour capabilities. Let's head over to the dashboard. Okay, I want you to consider your dashboard to be your virtual accountability partner, okay? So whether you have a success partner, success sister, sideline sister, I hear it so many different ways now. Whatever the case may be, if you don't have one yet, we have built one into Teamzy for you, okay? So there's no excuse. At one glance, every single day, you can log in and see what your goals are in any given category. So I know I have 6 prospects to connect with. Whoops. So that's how we're going to read our dashboard. I have 6 left for the day, and that's under my prospect column. As I begin to connect with people, my progress will fill in, and I will be able to see at one glance how close or how far I am to meeting my overall goals. Okay, so I've got 6 prospects, 4 customers, and 3 coaches. But then I've also got my invite goal and my additions goal to keep my eye on. So when I'm ready to get started to jump into my actual power hour, I'm going to scroll down this page to what is known as your Who's Up Next section. Now this has to be the real game changer for Teamzy. This is going to be the list that arranges for you who you need to connect with and when, every single day, without you having to scrub a list, without you having to check every last messenger feed on your phone, okay? You can see all of it at one glance. So how would I work my Who's Up Next list? This is going to arrange for me prospects, customers, coaches, and then follow-ups. So we'll get into that in a second. Let's say I've got 6 prospects to connect with. The first person that comes up is Eric Johnson. The reason that Eric is listed first, pardon me, is that Eric is my 5-star prospect that I have not connected with in 30 days. So Teamzy is monitoring the last point of communication and their overall priority. So if at any point you're looking at someone on the list and you're thinking they're coming up too frequently, or you know what, I'm not checking in with them enough, you need to affect change on their ranking, okay? Get in there and alter whether they're a 5-star, 4-star, or so on. So Eric comes up for follow-up. What Teamzy has done is it has created a quick connect area. So you'll see the person's name, and then it gives you an area to basically jot down the nature of that conversation. You can do a full copy and paste, or you can just synopsize this for yourself. Again, all of these areas are notes to you from you. Messages are not being sent directly to the clients, okay? So in that thought, let's say I want to connect with Eric. But when you get started in the beginning, when you start to build momentum, you might come across some, lukewarm prospects from social media that you're thinking, how do I know this person? Or, what was the nature of that relationship? Directly from the dashboard, without you opening your Excel spreadsheet or checking your Post-it notes, right on the dashboard, you can actually click and see, what activity have I done with Eric? Okay, doesn't look like I've connected with him before. I can check his details. Perfect, looks like I have his email address, I've got his phone number. Oh, that's right, we're Facebook friends. We talked about 21-day fix. That's how those tags are really gonna come into play, okay? If you use these identifiers, they're gonna be great tools for you to reference when you're on the phone with someone, or if you're just checking in and you need to know where you left off last, okay? So I can view all of that right from the dashboard. I know Eric's a Facebook friend, so you know what? I'm gonna send him a Facebook message. Couple things could happen next. I could sit here and agonize over every word that I want to send to each and every lukewarm prospect. I am not going to want to do that again tomorrow. Okay? You need to be able to put in place processes that are easily reproduced, okay? If you're at the end of the night wanting to rip out every last strand of your hair, what are the odds you're going to want to come back for seconds? okay? So we want a reproducible process, something that is just like, you know, that hums in the background. I do what I need to do, it does what it needs to do. So in that, we have built one of those awesome tools right into your Teamzy. Lean into your scripts and dialogues, okay? In the upper right-hand corner of every Connect section, you've got a little script section. If you click on that script button, it's gonna let you choose how you wanna connect with that person. Do I wanna send Eric a Facebook message, an email, a text, Insta? Choose your script. I wanna send him a Facebook message. So now Teamzy is going to arrange for me all of my prospect scripts for Facebook. So you've got a few different options, okay? What's happening here is that you can choose from Connect 1, Connect 2, Connect 3, and then we've also got follow-up number 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to follow-up number 10, okay? Because I know it and you know it. Fortune's in the follow-up, and most sales do not close until the 7th or the 10th follow-up. So sometimes when you have to sit down and agonize over what each and every one of those follow-ups is gonna be, no one wants to do that for one person, let alone 10 people, you know? So lean into the system. These are really great one-liners, kind of starting points. Let's see. Let's say this is connection number 2 for Eric and I. Hi, Eric. It's been a while since I checked in with you. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope your day is going well. Hey, girl, it's fantastic. You can customize, personalize it from there, but you had a starting point. Teamzy gives you a way to plant that seed or open that door with some of these people that might be in that lukewarm stage, okay? Because it takes some real consistency. You've gotta really pour into people for some time before you really see that come to fruition, okay? So let's say this is the email I wanna send, this is the Facebook message I wanna send. I have a quick copy option at the bottom of the screen. I'll do copy script. It highlights and copies all at once. Now, this is my process. You do not have to do a copy and paste, but I like this because it lets me know exactly what I sent to my customer, to my prospect, or what have you. Also, because I am incredibly blind and my Facebook Messenger is like that big on my screen, this allows me to update the name, add my little hey girl, you know, just thinking of you or whatever you're doing to personalize your message. I would indicate then how I'm gonna send the message. It's gonna be a Facebook message. And now I will actually come over to my details section to open up Eric's profile, because earlier you watched me save his link. So now I can actually click on the word Facebook here, and it automatically drops me right on Eric's profile page. So now I can hit message, I drop my message, I come back over to Teamzy, I indicate that I sent that through Facebook. I'm not inviting him to anything, okay? I'm not telling Eric to take action on anything. So this is basically just gonna be a check-in. Eric is a 5-star, so when I hit log connect, he's gonna come up 30 days later. I'm okay with that follow-up, so I can hit connect. This now sends a message to my dashboard that I've connected with one of my prospects. So you'll see that the dashboard fills in automatically. So I've now completed one of my 5 follow-ups for the day. As I continue to fill in my progress, I will be able to see that at one glance. What you'll also notice is that my prospect list has refreshed, bringing up the next name in priority, removing Eric, because these are the 5 names that I need to focus on right now. So that will always refresh for you, okay? You'll always have 5 viable names on the dashboard. Let's say someone comes up that you're thinking, oh, actually, Marlo and his family headed out of town this week. I'll check in with him next week. What you can do is you can do your quick skip option. If I do skip 1 week, that removes Marlo for 7 days. He will then 7 days from now, without provocation, just find his way back onto my list on my dashboard, okay? So now my next prospect is gonna come up for connection. Let's say that William and I are chatting about upcoming challenge group. Okay, so this is gonna be a one-on-one connection. So what I would do is I would select the type, we're talking by phone, and I'm actually inviting him to take action, get involved with my challenge group. So I'm gonna check mark, is this connect and invite? Yes. I now get to indicate what type of invite it is. I can select type, and it's gonna drop down for me different types of invites. Is it a challenge group, business opportunity, try a product, or other, okay? So this is for a challenge group. What's really awesome that I wanna mention here before I move on is that by adding this information, you're creating a report for yourself. So you can actually pull a report that says, what are all of my invites for challenge groups this month? Or where are all of my invites for events or anything along those lines, okay? So I would check mark that it's an invite, it's a challenge group invite, but you know what? Will's got to run right now. I really want to follow up tomorrow with all of the information, but he's a 4-star. So if I hit log connect, he's not coming up for 60 days. Don't reach for your calendar. Don't grab the Post-it notes, okay? Set your follow-up in real time, right in the system. So in this connect section in the upper right-hand corner, I've got a follow-up option. Right now it says default. That means 60 days because he's 4 stars. But you know what? No, Teamzy. Bring him up to me tomorrow. Now when I log that connect, that sent the message to the dashboard. I've logged a connection with William. So 2 prospects for the day. I've tracked one of my invites. It's all happening, all in one fell swoop. But Jay, I just said a follow-up. Where did it go? How do I know where it is? How do I know what's happening? Not to worry. Right in your Who's Up Next section, you have that list of prospects, you have a list of customers, a list of coaches, and a list of follow-ups. Your follow-ups list is going to arrange for you any custom follow-up that you set, anything outside of those default windows, okay? These follow-ups are going to arrange for you 5 at a time, and they're going to be color-coded. So you're gonna see past due, due today, color-coded red, green, yellow, orange, so on, okay? So that's gonna be how you utilize or set follow-ups directly from the dashboard as you're connecting with people. Let's say you have more than 5 follow-ups and you're thinking, Jay, I wanna see them all. You can head over to your team page on the left-hand side. From here, this is going to allow, again, this is that page that we were on where we looked at all of our contacts and we did some of that ranking. So along the middle left, what you'll notice is you've got some sort options. I can see all of my customers, or I can see all of my coaches, or I can come down and see all of my upcoming follow-ups. So every single one of your custom follow-ups will be arranged on this follow-ups list on your team page. Dashboard is going to give you your focused 5, okay? Your focused 5. And then your team page will give you a full overall view if you need kind of a higher level. Okay, so that's gonna be sort of how we set Teamzy follow-ups, how you access your Teamzy follow-ups. Something else to keep in mind when you're working on the dashboard. Tomorrow when I log in, what I will notice is that I will actually have a little notification above the follow-up tab that lets me know you have a pending follow-up today. So even if you forget to check that section, that little notification will be your indicator that you need to check there to check in on a follow-up or something like that. And that's gonna be how we set and manage our follow-ups in Teamzy. Now there are a couple other features, some different things that I definitely want to jump in and share with you, but I want to open up the floor to specific questions you might have. It's a perfect time because my tongue is completely tied. So I'm going to share my contact information for those of you that stuck with me. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. If you have to run, I understand. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up on screen for you now. Oh, way to make a liar of myself. And for you now, okay, so that's my contact information up on screen for you. Let me check the chat and see what we've got going. Feel free to grab a screenshot of that or just jot that down. I will put that back up on the screen soon. Okay, so pulling that down, putting Teamzy back up. All right, let's take a look here. If you did a trial previously and uploaded some lists, but it's been a long time, will it duplicate those people? Okay, so Sheena, that is an awesome question. So the way that Teamzy handles duplicates, okay, is that we do in fact have a duplicate filter that's built into the system. So the way that works is that every time you bring in one of your lists, Teamzy is gonna scrub that down for you, and it's searching for a unique email address, okay? So it's gonna say, oh, you know what, this person already exists in your system, and it's just gonna skip over them. So you won't end up with a duplicate. However, nowadays, people use one email for LinkedIn, one email for Facebook. They give you a different one to sign up as a customer. So you might have some that slip through the cracks, okay? But in that case, you're just gonna manually add, merge up that information and delete the file you don't need. Now, with that in mind, if you had a list, let's say you uploaded your customers and your coaches 3 months ago, but you had a killer 3 months and you got a ton of new coaches and customers. What you can do is log back into your Beachbody back office. Go ahead and pull an updated copy of your lists, import those to Teamzy. Teamzy is going to search for the duplicates and it'll skip them and it'll just update your list with the new folks. Okay? So keep that in mind. Let's see here. Let me bring this
real
up.
quickly, just while you're still talking about that, if you were to do that and pull all of your new customers and coaches, etc., and upload them, how long would it be before you saw them and who's up next?
So it's going to be working through the previous list of names that was in there. So they're going to go kind of in queue. There'll be, if you had 10 names that were already in your Teamzy, those will be working their way through the who's up next. If you add 15 more, the first 10 have to work their way through.
So if you want them to be at the top, you definitely need to make the effort to go in and be deliberate at putting them at 5-star or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Of course. Let's see here. Okay, so Sheena wants to know, what about between Facebook and COO? So it's every single file that you bring in. So if I bring in my customers and coaches, then I go ahead and bring in my custom spreadsheet, it's gonna check everyone that existed in the file before. So each one that you add, it's gonna cross-reference, okay? Let's see here. So Michelle wants to know, when you have new contacts, do I need to add them manually? It's a really good habit to get into, okay? What's awesome is it's really simple in Teamzy. In the upper right-hand corner, you've got the little add contact option. So anytime I accept a new friend request or I meet someone face-to-face and belly-to-belly, I just open up my Facebook and I drop their names in there, drop the information I have in there that I have. If you ever get behind, if you have a killer week, a killer month, and you're thinking, I added a ton of people through social, I was just on fire. Awesome. Go ahead and pull that updated list, update it to Teamzy. Teamzy will search the duplicates, bring in only the new folks, okay? But on a day-to-day, I do recommend that you get in the habit of adding them in real time, because your team lead just hit it right on the head, okay? You want to get them in that consistent follow-up window. The sooner you get them in the system, the sooner you start reaching out, okay? So add daily, or if you ever get behind, you can just go ahead and update the system. All right. Let's take a look here. So Marta, I knew it was coming. I knew there would be someone with the golden goose question. Okay. Is there or will there be an app version of Teamzy in the future? We definitely plan to have a native app in the future. Right now, however, you can access your Teamzy on the go, okay, whether you're on a tablet or on your mobile device. You're just gonna access it through our mobile site, okay? So to do that, I recommend that you, if you're on an iPhone, Safari, Android, Chrome, or whatever your choice is, you're just gonna type in what you see in my browser now. So what you see in my URL right now, app.teamzy.com. So the word app.teamzy.com. Now I'm gonna actually show you, once that comes up, go ahead and log into your account and then save your login credentials so you don't have to keep logging in. And then what's awesome is I'm not sure if the glare is gonna allow it, but we'll see. So this is actually my Teamzy app, what you can see on my mobile right here. So what I did is I saved that as a shortcut on my home screen. So when I tap on that, it acts just like an app because it's already got my login credentials saved. So it's gonna load my dashboard and it's gonna let me know who I need to connect with next. And I can go in and actually log on the go, or I can add people as I'm meeting them, that sort of thing. So that's what's awesome about that mobile site. So a native app, definitely we hope down the road, and we will let you know as soon as that's available. But for now, okay, you don't need to go to the app store, you don't need to buy anything, you're just gonna go to your mobile site, type in app.teamzy.com, and then you can actually add it right to your home screen like I did so that it looks like an app. Alrighty, so that's gonna be how you access mobilely on the go. Let me get back into it. For anybody that's thinking, I don't know how to add a home screen, like a shortcut or anything like that, just feel free to reach out to me and I'll help. Let's see here. Awesome, super exciting. And I don't often like to tell people, Marta, but I am indeed a wizard, yes. Okay, So if anybody else has questions, feel free to jump in the chat. Okay, I'm going to jump in and share with you a couple more things just to keep on your radar. Or you can unmute yourself. We're rocking it out with a more of an intimate crew now, so feel free. Okay, let's see here. So Natasha wants to know, how do you delete a tag? Perfect, before I move on. So we're going to head over to our team page to access, edit, or delete any tags. Okay, so we'll head over to the team page. On your team page, you'll notice you have a list of tags middle left, so that little sort option. So you'll click on the tag you want to delete or edit. Now above the list of names, above the rank mode, you'll have tag options, and that'll give you your delete or your edit option. Let's see here. Okay, I think that's all of the questions. So I'm going to jump back in, share with you a couple more features to keep on your radar. Okay. So we started all of this by setting an income goal, right? So it's going to be important that we track our progress toward that income goal. So you've got a business tab in your Teamzy. On the left-hand side, we'll click on business. This is going to give you access to your business statistics. There's a word I cannot ever say. So it's going to give you at one glance your goals. Okay, so it lets me know, okay, my goal is currently $100,000 and I've tracked about 19K toward that goal. So inside the bubble is going to be what your progress has been so far. It's going to fill in just like the other progress areas of the system. If you want to add income, you just click the little plus symbol here, or in the upper right-hand corner, you've got an add income. Either of which is going to give you access to an itemized income report. So this is awesome no matter how you like to track your income. If you're thinking, every time I get my hands on an earnings statement, I want it in my report, do it, okay? Get in there and you can track income between date ranges. And it'll actually create an itemized report that you can go ahead and pull for yourself. So that's going to be how you track your income. Teamzy is also tracking your total number of customers, total number of personally sponsored coaches, growth, activities, ratios broken down, how many connects to sale, how many sales did it take to convert someone into coach status, and then how many all-time connections have you made. If you come down far enough on that business page, you're going to have access to that report that I mentioned, where I can actually filter and see, you know what, I only want to see the invites that I sent out for challenge groups. Now I can apply that filter, I can export this. This is great for my pen and paper guys and gals that are kind of making that, weaning themselves off. This gives you a great little checklist if you need to do, you know, the check, check, check. I'm that gal, I add things to my to-do list just to see it checked off. So you've got ability to access that right in your business tab. One last thing, okay, before I check the chat one more time to see your questions would be, Teamzy is going to be ever evolving. We are looking to always change and update the system based on your user needs. So let me know what you need, okay? In the upper right-hand corner, you've got a feedback tool. It's built right into your Teamzy. You can just pop in there, you know, let me know what you like, love, want to see more of, okay? In the lower right-hand corner of your Teamzy, you've got a help button. So if, you know, you don't want to call me directly, it's fine. You can always just hit the help button. That's fine, because I work there too. So I'm always here to help. We're a small, close-knit team, so we do our best to respond to you within, you know, you're definitely hearing from us within the first couple of hours that you reach out, but if you need help, please do. I'm gonna put my contact information up again before you go, so not to worry. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them now. I appreciate you for being here. You guys are awesome. We love our Beachbody community. Let us know if there's anything we can do.
Thank you so much for everything tonight. This has been so much information. I know a lot of questions have been answered. I've seen people pop on and off throughout this whole time. So I really just appreciate you taking time out of your day to do this for all of us. Does anybody have any last minute questions? You have been awesome.
Thank you guys. You're awesome. The Stunner Squad's so awesome. I appreciate that. You guys are so cool. Keep an eye on new updates and things that are coming out for the system. I'm just checking to see if there are any other questions. I think I saw one come, the monthly cost of Teamzy. Yes, so I will actually stop sharing my contact information really quickly. So Here at Teamzy, we want you to know that your subscription option is yours and yours alone to make when you are ready in your own time, okay? So your subscription and your billing options live right in your Teamzy. So we've got a secure billing platform in the upper right-hand corner of your Teamzy. So we're gonna click that wheel and come down to settings. Once we click on settings, you've got billing in this middle to left menu. What's great is this will let you know exactly when you can expect your trial to end. Okay, so that gives you your trial end date. And then if you come down far enough, it breaks down for you your monthly option and your annual option for subscription. So monthly is going to be just that, month to month, no contract necessary. You can cancel at any time. The annual option, however, does lock you in for a year, but you do save $60 up front with that option. Something to keep in mind, Teamzy is 100% a business write-off, so you can take the discount now and then write it off at tax season, okay? So keep in mind your billing and subscription options are right in your settings section. If anything comes up between now and when you decide, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you.
All right, well, I think that we're all good then if nobody has any other questions. Thank you so much again for your time, and thanks all of you for hopping on and joining us tonight. I hope you all have an awesome rest of your week. It's a new week. It's Thursday, so let's kick some butt. Bye, guys.